Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. The Young and the Restless spoilers are in for the week of September 1st, 2025. Fans can expect Amanda Sinclair, Miss Hale Morgan, to make a sacrifice to help Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, and Holden Novak, Nathan Owens form an alliance. Also, there is a new opportunity for Michael Baldwin, Christian LeBlanc. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Amanda Sinclair's Sacrifice. Let's start off with Amanda, who is finally back in town. The lawyer has already met up with Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn. While Amanda doubted his plan, the tycoon explained it's to get the spotlight off of him. Then, he will make his next shocking move when everyone least expects it. While Kane might not tell Amanda the exact details, he will have a new assignment for her. Speaking of Amanda, she takes a big risk to help out Phyllis. However, it doesn't sound too good for Red. By Friday, she overplays her hand. Amanda Sinclair's name has always carried a weight of resilience in Genoa City. From the moment she arrived, she carried the shadows of her past and the echoes of her connection to Hillary Curtis, a woman whose presence still lingers in every corner of Devin Hamilton's life. But Amanda was never just a stand-in or a reminder. She carved her own identity as a lawyer, a sister, a lover, and above all, a woman determined to stand up for justice no matter the personal cost. Now talk has begun to swirl around what is being called Amanda Sinclair's Sacrifice, a storyline that promises to test her strength, her loyalty, and her capacity for pain in ways fans have never seen before. When soaps introduce sacrifice arcs, it usually signals a turning point that reshapes not just a character, but the lives of everyone around them. And for Amanda, this feels like a culmination of her years of fighting against the odds. Amanda's journey has always been about duality. She came to town under mysterious circumstances, mistaken identity, clouding her every move because of her uncanny resemblance to Hillary. For months, she lived under suspicion, treated as though she were an interloper who could never fill the shoes of the woman Devin lost. Yet Amanda persevered not by trying to replace Hillary, but by proving she was her own woman. Her sacrifices started, then small ones invisible to those who dismissed her. She sacrificed her pride to endure the whispers. She sacrificed her chance at an easy life by choosing to stay in Genoa City despite the hostility. And she sacrificed her heart by slowly falling for a man who would always carry the ghost of another woman inside him. These sacrifices set the stage for what is now coming a storyline where Amanda's decisions could alter everything from corporate battles to family loyalties. The idea of Amanda's sacrifice is layered. On one level, it could involve her personal life, specifically her bond with Devin. Their relationship has been one of the most complex romances on a canvas, a mixture of undeniable chemistry, lingering grief, and unresolved guilt. For Devin, every kiss with Amanda carried the echo of Hillary, but Amanda never ran from that truth. She embraced it even when it meant sacrificing her own desire to be seen, without comparison. If the spoilers hold true, Amanda may soon find herself making an even greater sacrifice for Devin, perhaps stepping aside to protect him from legal ruin, emotional collapse, or corporate destruction. The notion of sacrificing love for the sake of another's well-being is a classic soap trope, and Amanda is uniquely positioned to deliver it with heartbreaking sincerity. On another level, Amanda's sacrifice could play out in the legal arena. As an attorney, she has always held herself to a high moral standard, fighting battles for those she loves and for causes she believes in. The whisper suggests Amanda may soon be forced into a choice between protecting her career and protecting the people she considers family. What happens if a case involving Devin, Lily Winters, or Chancellor Winters forces Amanda to make a move that could cost her everything professionally? Is she willing to put her reputation and future on the line to ensure justice for those she loves? Sacrifice in the courtroom is not just about winning or losing a case. It is about identity, integrity, and survival. For a woman like Amanda, who has worked tirelessly to build her name, such a sacrifice would carry devastating consequences. Family, too, plays into this equation. Amanda's connections to her biological family remain fraught with tension. The revelations about her mother, Naya Benedict, and her complicated sister, Imani, turned her world upside down. Forgiveness came with strings, and Amanda has had to sacrifice emotional safety in order to maintain some form of relationship with them. But what happens if her family requires a greater sacrifice, one that threatens to dismantle everything she has built in Genoa City? If Amanda is asked to choose between blood and chosen family, between her mother and sister or Devon, and her new life, a decision could shatter her. Sacrifice in soap operas often means choosing between irreconcilable loyalties, and Amanda stands right at the heart of that storm. Another possibility lies in the health of those she loves. Soap sacrifices often involve literal life-and-death decisions. Viewers have speculated that Amanda could one day face a moment where she must give up something vital, perhaps even her own health or freedom, to save someone close to her. Imagine Amanda discovering she is the only viable match for a medical procedure that could save Devon, Lily, or even Imani. Would she risk her own future to save them? Such a storyline would not only showcase her devotion, but also her willingness to lose everything for those she loves. It would transform Amanda from a quiet fighter to a legendary heroine remembered for her selflessness. But sacrifice rarely comes without pain and fallout. If Amanda gives up her career for family, she risks being seen as reckless by the very people she tried to protect. If she sacrifices her love for Devon, she may spend her life haunted by what might have been. If she sacrifices for her family of origin, she risks alienating Devon and the Winters who finally accepted her. Every choice would bring devastation in some form. That is the brilliance of a sacrifice arc. It guarantees heartbreak, but also delivers some of the most powerful performances and unforgettable scenes. For Amanda, the stakes are higher because she has fought so long to be seen as more than Hillary's shadow. Every sacrifice she makes now will either elevate her as a true heroine or trap her once again in the painful cycle of loss. The reactions of those around her will also be crucial. Devon may resist her sacrifices, refusing to let her give up her happiness for his sake. His stubbornness could lead to explosive arguments where Amanda insists that her choices are her own even if they break her heart. Lily may admire her sister-in-law's strength, but fear the cost of such selflessness. Imani might resent Amanda's sacrifice, seeing it as a reminder of her own failures to step up. And the broader community of Genoa City, from Victor Newman to the Abbotts, may watch in awe as Amanda's quiet power reshapes the balance of the town. Sacrifice has ripple effects, and in soap storytelling those ripples often become tidal waves that engulf entire families. From a performance perspective, Miss Hale Morgan has always excelled at roles demanding emotional depth. As Hillary, she was fiery, manipulative, and complex. As Amanda, she has been reserved, thoughtful, and deeply vulnerable. A sacrifice storyline gives her the opportunity to merge those qualities into something unforgettable. The rawness of watching Amanda give up what she treasures most while maintaining her poise and dignity could be one of the standout arcs of the year. For fans who have long wanted Amanda to get her spotlight, this is it. The chance to see her command center stage in a story that demands empathy, admiration, and tears. Of course, sacrifice is never the end in soaps. It is the beginning of transformation. Whatever Amanda loses will open the door for new dynamics, new rivalries, and new loves. If she sacrifices her relationship with Devon, perhaps she finds new purpose in championing causes that remind her of Hillary's legacy. If she sacrifices her career, maybe she reinvents herself outside the courtroom. If she sacrifices for her family, maybe she finally gains a closeness she has always craved. No matter what the specifics, our Amanda's sacrifice would define her trajectory for years to come. Fans online are already buzzing with theories. Some predict Amanda will give up her happiness to reunite Devon, and Abby believing they belong together for Dominic's sake. Others suspect she will sacrifice her career to protect Lily during a Chancellor Winter scandal. Still others wonder if her sacrifice will involve Imani in a medical emergency, forcing Amanda to confront her complicated love-hate relationship with her sister. The range of speculation only highlights how rich and layered Amanda's storyline potential has become. Every possibility carries weight, every theory holds emotional stakes that could devastate or uplift. Thematically, Amanda's sacrifice ties into one of the oldest truths of soap operas, the cost of love and loyalty. In a world where power struggles and betrayals dominate the landscape, the characters who choose sacrifice stand out as the moral anchors. They remind viewers that compassion and selflessness still exist even when greed and ambition rule the day. Amanda embodies that anchor role in Genoa City. Her arc is not about crushing enemies or seizing empires. It is about the quieter strength of giving up something precious so that others may thrive. And in doing so, she may emerge not just as Devon's love interest or Hillary's twin, but as one of the most important heroines of her generation. As the storyline unfolds, viewers should prepare for heartbreak, but also for inspiration. Amanda's sacrifice will likely challenge her to her very core, but will also reveal layers of her character that have never been fully explored. It will test her resilience, her courage, and her belief in justice. And while she may suffer in the short term, the long-term payoff is a richer, more complex character who will leave a permanent mark on Genoa City. In the end, Amanda Sinclair's sacrifice is about legacy. What does she want to be remembered for? For the battles she won in court? For the love she shared with Devon? For the family ties she struggled to preserve? Or for the ultimate act of giving up something she loved for the greater good? Whatever the answer, Amanda's sacrifice ensures that she will no longer be defined by Hillary's shadow. She will be remembered for her own choices, her own courage, and her own unshakable will to do what she believes is right, even when it costs her everything. Claire Grace Newman's alliance. Over with Claire, she forms an alliance with Holden. The two decide to work together to target Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver. I have to wonder what reason Holden has to go after his former flame, though. Their dynamic might not be great, but Holden really has no reason to target Audra. So, when he offers to help go after Audra with Claire, I wonder what his reason will be. In the shifting world of Genoa City, power is never permanent, and loyalty is always conditional. Alliances are made and broken with a speed that can leave even the sharpest players staggering. Into this high-stakes arena steps Claire Grace Newman, a woman who has already lived through extremes of pain, betrayal, and reinvention. Her very name tells a story of dual identity, half defined by her past as Claire Grace, the troubled pawn of Jordan, and half reborn as Newman heir Claire Newman searching for belonging. But belonging in a family like the Newmans is never simple, and whispers of Claire Grace Newman's alliance suggest she is about to make choices that will change not only her trajectory, but also the balance of power in the city. An alliance in soap storytelling is never just about friendship or cooperation. It is about strategy, survival, and the cold calculation of who can offer protection and who can offer opportunity. For Claire, this becomes a test of whether she is ready to rise as a true Newman player, or she will remain the fragile outsider forever trapped in her past mistakes. Claire's history makes the idea of her forming an alliance especially intriguing. For so long, she lived under Jordan's manipulative thumb, her identity warped by lies, and her self-worth diminished by cruelty. To survive that kind of conditioning and emerge still standing is in itself remarkable. But survival is only the first chapter. The second is reinvention, and Claire has been working tirelessly to prove that she is more than the damaged young woman everyone once pitted or mistrusted. By embracing the Newman name, she gains not just legitimacy, but also immense responsibility. Her alliance choices will define whether she is accepted as part of the dynasty or sidelined as a liability. With Victor Newman as her grandfather and Nikki as her grandmother, the stakes are enormous. If Claire aligns wisely, she can cement herself as an indispensable ally. If she chooses poorly, she could find herself cast out into isolation again. So who stands as a potential partners in Claire's alliance? One obvious possibility is Kyle Abbott. The chemistry and connection between them has already been hinted at, and their tentative romance has drawn plenty of fan speculation. An alliance between Claire and Kyle would not simply be romantic, it would be political. By linking with an Abbott, Claire could create a bridge between two rival dynasties, the Newmans and the Abbotts, in a way that has rarely been possible. Such a partnership would be revolutionary in Genoa City terms. But it would also be dangerous. Both families carry generations of grudges and old wounds. Aligning too closely with Kyle could bring Claire under suspicion from her own kin, particularly Victor, who is always wary of Abbott influence. Still, the allure of a Kyle-Claire alliance lies in its potential to unite two legacies and to carve out a new generation of power that neither family can control entirely. On the other hand, Claire could find her strongest ally within her own family. Victor has always been protective of the Newman name, quick to embrace those who prove loyalty and equally quick to destroy those who betray it. If Claire demonstrates the strategic cunning he values, she could earn his trust in a way that even some of his children have struggled to maintain. An alliance with Victor would give Claire the ultimate shield. It would also allow her to learn from one of the most ruthless and brilliant minds in Genoa City history. But aligning with Victor also comes with a price: loss of autonomy. To stand at his side often means to stand in his shadow, carrying out his will rather than forging one's own path. For Claire, the question becomes whether she is willing to sacrifice independence for security, or whether she has the courage to stand apart even if it leaves her vulnerable. Nikki Newman represents another potential path for Claire's alliance. Their bond is emotional as well as strategic. Nikki has shown compassion for Claire, recognizing in her the echoes of her own struggles with pain and redemption. An alliance with Nikki would ground Claire in empathy and nurture rather than manipulation. It would also provide her with a moral compass amid the chaos of Newman politics. Yet Nikki's influence, while profound, is not always as effective in corporate or power struggles as Victor's. Choosing Nikki over Victor would mean aligning with heart over power, a choice that could leave Claire vulnerable to sharks circling the Newman fortune. Still, the resonance of such an alliance could offer Claire the healing and stability she has long craved, something no amount of corporate victory could ever provide. Of course, there is also the possibility of Claire forming alliances outside the Newman-Abbott spectrum entirely. Audra Charles, for instance, represents the kind of ambitious contemporary rival who could easily become either Claire's fiercest enemy or her most dangerous ally. If the two women found common ground, they could form a formidable duo blending Audra's sharp business instincts with Claire's Newman backing. But such an alliance would be built on shaky ground. Audra is known for betrayal and self-interest. For Claire to trust her would be both bold and reckless. Yet sometimes in Genoa City, the most effective alliances are those forged in tension, keeping both parties constantly guessing and constantly on guard. The allure of alliance as a narrative device lies in the ripple effects it creates. If Claire aligns with Kyle, what does that mean for Summer Newman, Kyle's former love? How does Diane Jenkins react to her son's involvement with Newman when she herself has a volatile history with that family? If Claire chooses Victor, does that put her at odds with Adam, Nick, and Victoria, who each have complicated relationships with their father? If she leans on Nikki, does she alienate the ruthless side of the family that demands strategic aggression? Each choice fractures relationships while building new ones. The drama lies not just in the alliance itself, but in the fallout it creates across the canvas. From a fan perspective, Claire Grace Newman's alliance is a storyline that could cement her as a permanent fixture in Genoa City, rather than a short-term redemption arc. For months, viewers have debated whether she would fade away once her Jordan story concluded, or whether she would integrate fully into the Newman legacy. This alliance arc provides the answer. By choosing her partners carefully and showing that she can navigate the treacherous waters of family loyalty and business warfare, Claire proves she belongs. Her alliance will not just define her own trajectory, but also determine how much influence she can wield in the battles to come. On a deeper level, the storyline of Claire's alliance is about identity and agency. For so long, Claire's life was dictated by Jordan. Every move was controlled, every decision manipulated. Now she faces the opportunity to define herself on her own terms. An alliance is not just a plot point. It is a declaration of who she trusts, who she values, and how she intends to wield her newfound power. By forging her own alliance, Claire tells the world that she is no longer a victim, but a strategist in her own right. That transformation is one of the most compelling journeys any soap character can take. Of course, no alliance in Genoa City is ever stable. Betrayals are inevitable. Secrets will surface. Shifting loyalties will test even the strongest bonds. The real intrigue lies not just in who Claire aligns with, but in how long that alliance lasts and what happens when it inevitably shatters. Will Claire be resilient enough to withstand betrayal and emerge stronger? Or will she fall back into old patterns of self-doubt and dependence? Her journey will be measured not by the alliance she forms, but by how she reacts when that alliance is tested. Performance also matters in selling such a storyline. Haley Aaron's portrayal of Claire has been a masterclass in vulnerability, intensity, and transformation. She has captured the fragility of a young woman scarred by manipulation, while also showing the steel emerging beneath the surface. An alliance storyline gives her the chance to lean into that duality, showing both the tenderness of a woman searching for belonging and the fierce determination of a Newman fighting for her place. The emotional weight of such a story combined with the high-stakes drama of Newman family politics makes this one of the most exciting arcs of the season. Fans online are already debating the possibilities. Some root for Claire and Kyle, hoping their bond could evolve into something deeper that reshapes the Abbott-Newman rivalry into a new era of cooperation. Others want Claire to align fully with Victor, embracing her Newman bloodline and stepping into a role as a corporate warrior. Still others hope she resists both paths and instead chooses independence, forging alliances with unexpected players like Audra or even Adam. The diversity of speculation shows just how invested fans are in Claire's future and how much potential the storyline carries for long-term drama. Ultimately, Claire Grace Newman's alliance is about more than strategy. It is about healing the fractures of her past and building a foundation for her future. Every choice she makes carries echoes of the girl she once was and the woman she is becoming. Every alliance represents not just a tactical move, but also a reflection of her heart, her fears, and her dreams. And in a city where power is currency and loyalty is always conditional, Claire's ability to forge a lasting alliance could mean the difference between being a footnote in Newman history or becoming one of its most powerful players. As the weeks unfold, viewers should expect Claire's choices to ripple outward, reshaping family dynamics, corporate rivalries, and romantic entanglements. Whether she chooses love, family, or ambition as a foundation of her alliance, the impact will be seismic. And through it all, one truth will remain. Claire Grace Newman is no longer the pawn of someone else's game. She is a player in her own right, and her alliance will define not only her destiny, but also the future of Genoa City.